6th class students. So today we are going to do chapter number 3, Fibre to Fabric. Okay, let's learn. So first we will understand the name of the chapter. Why this name has been given. So chapter number 3, Fibre to Fabric. So what fiber exactly means? Fiber means any thread. Okay, any thread. So from thread to what? They have been given as fabric. Fabric means any kind of cloth. Okay, you must have seen. From thread, the cloth is being made. But how? This journey we will learn. Okay, let's start reading. Paheli and Bujo won the first prize in the science quiz competition held at their school. Okay, they were very excited and decided to use this prize money to buy clothes for their parents. When they saw a large variety of cloth material, they got confused. Okay, when they went to the shopkeeper or the shop, they saw a large variety of cloth material and they got confused that which one we should choose. The shopkeeper explained that some clothes or fabrics were cotton and some were synthetic. So which type of clothes we got here? Were cotton and some were synthetic. Okay. He had also woolen mufflers, woolen clothes. Okay. There were many silk sarees as well. So means silk. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 type of clothes to get to know. Paheli and Bujo felt very excited. Okay, they felt very excited and they touched and felt these fabrics. ठीक है, उन्होंने काफी जो है उस fabrics को touch किया, feel किया. Finally, they bought a woolen muffler and a cotton sari. Okay, woolen muffler for their father and a cotton sari for mother. After their visit to the clothes shop, okay, Paheli and Bujo began to notice various fabrics in their surroundings. Okay, ये चीजें बहुत बारी होती है जब हमें कोई बाहर कुछ चीज दिखती है तो वो हम अपने घर में भी ढूंढने की कोशिश करते हैं. So they also found that bed sheets, okay, bed sheets, blankets, okay, we have curtains, tablecloths, towels, and dusters were made from different kinds of fabrics. But here dusters means not that blackboard dusters. This means the duster made to remove the dust with the help of cloth. That cloth is named here dusters. Okay. And even their school bags and the gunny bags were made from some kind of fabric. Okay. So we have your school bags here, and while you are listening to this chapter, notice that or keep your bag nearby you, take your bag and check which type of fabric it is made from. Okay, so we have here a bag, so fabric is different in bag. Now let's check out, we have one t-shirt. Okay, we have one t-shirt and one bag, so whose fabric will be more harder? Obviously the bag ones. Okay, now they tried to identify these fabrics as cotton, wool, silk or synthetic. Okay, that they learned. Can you also identify some fabrics? Yes, but you maybe easily get to know cotton, wool. But you will be little bit confused in silk or synthetic. Okay, if you don't know. Now, 3.1 variety in fabrics. Okay, we have a lot of varieties in fabrics. Visit a near tailoring shop. Okay, so they are saying that you can visit nearby tailoring shop, collect cuttings of fabrics left over after stitching. Feel and touch each piece of fabric. Now try to label some of the fabrics as cotton, silk, wool or synthetic. Okay, or synthetic after asking for help from the tailor. Okay, the tailor can well explain you. Do you wonder what these different fabrics are made up of? When you look at any fabric, it seems a continuous piece. Yes, it seems a continuous piece. But now look at it closely. Okay, what do you notice? We notice that there are threads, which are joined together to make or enlarge cloth. So we have here activity 2. Select a piece of cotton fabric you labeled in activity 1. Okay, you have to select the same piece. Okay, you can take the same piece of the fabric and cotton fabric which you labeled in activity 1. Okay, which you labeled as cotton in activity 1. Now try to find a loose thread or yarn at the edges and pull it out. Okay, edges of the cloth and pull it out. Now we will see figure 3.3 how they are pulling. So you know this thing. Okay, this is how it is being pulled. If no loose yarns are visible, you can gently pull one out with a pin or needle. Okay, we find that the fabric is made up of yarns arranged together. What are these yarns made of? The question rises. Now we will study about that. Now 3.2 FIBRE. Activity 3. Take out a yarn from a piece of cotton fabric. Okay, अब हमें क्या करना है? We have to take a cotton fabric and we have to take out one yarn. Okay, place this piece of yarn on the table. You have to place it and now press one end of the yarn with your thumb and scratch the other end of the yarn along its length with your nail as shown in figure 3.4. You can see here with one end. On one end, he or she is rubbing. Okay, and on one end they are scratching. Okay, or here they are rolling and here they are scratching. So do you find that at this end the yarn splits up into thin strands? Yes. So this side is shown now. Yes, strands. Thin. We have here thin strands. Okay, these are thin strands. Now we will learn about them. Why these thin strands came out. You might have observed something similar when you try to thread a needle. Okay, we have needle here, and when we have the thread, okay, when you are putting the thread into the needle, eye of the needle, many times the end of the thread is separated into few thin strands. Okay, and then we apply some amount of saliva, that's to make the strands evenly. Okay, this makes it difficult to pass the thread through the eye of the needle. The thin strands of thread that we see are made up of still thinner strands called fibers. Okay, so I have this thread here and I have thin strands here, and when I rub these strands also I get more strands. These are known as fibers. Okay, so we get to know these are known as fibers. The thin strands of thread are known as fibers. Okay, fabrics are made up of yarns and yarns are further made up of fibers. Now we will learn this line. Fabrics are made up of yarns. Yes, we know this fabric are made up of yarn. Okay, and yarns are further made up of fibers. Okay, where do these fibers come from? Okay, so where do these fibers come from? The fibers of some fabrics such as cotton, jute, silk and wool are obtained from plants and animals. Okay, these are natural fibers. Now we have learned here cotton, jute, silk and wool are natural fibers. So the fibers obtained from plants and animals are known as natural fibers. Cotton and jute are examples of fibers obtained from plants And wool and silk are fibers obtained from animals. So we will underline main points. Okay, obtained from plants. Wool and silk obtained from animals. You have to underline this. Wool is obtained from the fleece of sheep or goat. Okay. When the sheep or goat is having hair on their body, we remove that hair. Okay, that is known as fleece of sheep or goat. It is also obtained from the hair of rabbits, yak and camels. Okay, wool are of different kinds. Okay, you can see the different variety of wool. Silk fiber is drawn from the cocoon of silkworm. Okay, so we can say here by we have named this worm silkworm. That is the worm. The worm which produces silk is known as silkworm. Okay, it is producing now silk, so that's why it's known as silkworm. Silk fiber is drawn from the cocoon of silkworm. You have to underline these points also. Now, for thousands of years, natural fibers were only ones available for making fabrics. Okay, that time no chemical fibers, okay, synthetic fibers were made. So they used only the natural ones. In the last 100 years or so, fibers are also made from chemical substances. Okay, which are not obtained from plant or animal sources. These are called synthetic fibers. Okay. So they are saying here, for thousands of years, natural fibers were the only ones available for making fabrics. Means 1,000 years ago, fabrics were made from natural things. But from last 100 years ago, fabrics are made or fibers are made from chemical substances also. Pooja has seen in the museums items like one shown here. These were worn by warriors. He wants to know if these are made up of some kinds of fiber. Yes. Okay, these are made from some kind of fiber. Maybe it is made from jute, or maybe it is made from the skin of the animals. Okay, but here I can see here this can be jute. Okay. Jute. Some examples of synthetic fibers are polyester, nylon and acrylic. Okay. Now, some plant fibers. You have to underline this one, polyester, nylon and acrylic, because these are the examples. And you can underline the definition also of synthetic fiber so that you can easily get it and you learn it properly. Now, some plant fibers. Now we will learn about them. Cotton. Have you ever made wicks for oil lamps? Yes. What do you use for making these wicks? This cotton wool is also used for filling mattresses, quilts or pillows. Okay. Here mattresses means gadde, quilts mean rajaiya and pillows means takye. Okay. Take some cotton wool, pull it apart and look at its edges. What do you observe? The small thin strands that you see are made up of cotton fibers. Okay, where does this cotton wool come from? It is grown in the fields. Cotton plants are usually grown at places having black soil and warm climate. Okay, they need the moist climate, warm climate. Can you name some states of our country where cotton is grown? Okay, we will name. You have to mention these names in the comment section also. Okay. Main thing I can give you the Maharashtra. Okay. I am giving you Maharashtra. I have given you the one. Another you can name also in the comment section. The fruits of the cotton plant known as the cotton balls because they seem to be the cotton balls. Here balls are with O, not with A. Okay, are about the size of a lemon. Okay, lemon we have now, that's the size. After maturing, the balls burst open and the seeds covered with cotton fibers can be seen. Okay. Now they are asking, Have you ever seen a cotton field that is ready for picking? It looks like a field covered with snow. Yes, it seems like that. From these balls, cotton is usually picked by hand. Fibers are then separated from the seeds by combining. Okay, fibers are then separated from the seeds. Now, we have the cotton here and we have the seeds. So, we need to separate now the seeds. So, this method is taken combined. This process is called ginning of cotton. So, the process in which we separate the seeds by combining is known as ginning of cotton. Ginning was traditionally done by hand, but these days machines are also used for ginning. Here you can see. Okay, because the seeds are smaller and they got out of that, and easily we can get the cotton free of seeds. Now, jute. Jute fiber is obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, that means from stem of the jute plant. It is cultivated during the rainy season. Okay, we will learn more about it. In India, jute is mainly grown in West Bengal, Bihar and Assam. You may get the questions in your exam about these things, examples and all things. The jute plant is normally harvested when it is at flowering stage, means when there is flower. Okay. Now, the stems of the harvested plants are immersed in water for a few days. Then these stems they put into the water for a few days. The stems rot. Okay. Rot means गल जाती है ना, rotten हो जाती हैं and the fibers are separated by hand. ठीक है, फिर वो धीरे धीरे वो fibers निकाल लेते हैं hand से. Okay. To make fabrics, all these fibers are first converted into yarns. How is it done? Okay, so सबसे पहले छोटी चीजें अब हमने पढ़ लिया कि फाइबर्स निकालते हैं, ठीक है. अब जब वो जो फैब्रिक्स बनाते हैं, अब हमारे पास सिंपल फाइबर्स आ गए, अब वो यार्न्स बनाते हैं. ठीक है, अब यार्न्स कैसे बनाते हैं? ठीक है, पहले तो हाथ से भी बनाते थे, but from now we have these spinning tools and all. Let's see, you can try making cotton yarn yourself. Yes, it's easy. Hold some cotton wool in one hand, pinch some cotton between the hand or thumb or forefinger of the other hand. Now gently start pulling out the cotton. While continuously twisting the fibers. Are you able to make yarn? Yes, we are able to make the yarn. The process of making yarn from fibers is called spinning. Okay, this is the definition of spinning. The process of making yarn from fibers. Now, don't get confused that yarns are bigger than the fibers. In this process, fibers from a mass of cotton wool are drawn out and twisted. Okay, they are twisted. This brings fibers together to form a yarn. Okay. A simple device used for spinning is a hand spindle, also called ducky. Okay. A simple device used for spinning is a hand spindle. Spindle means spindle, moving. Okay. They are moving like a spindle and also called ducky. We can also call it ducky, but it is a simple device and it's also known as ducky, but we say it as hand spindle. Spindle means the moving thing. Okay, we move. Another hand operated device used for spinning is charkha. These we now get to some amount of machinery. Now, not exactly machinery, but we have started using. Another operated device used for spinning is charkha. You might have heard about Gandhiji. Okay, the father of nation. He made his dhoti with charkha only. Okay, suti kapda. Use of charkha was popularized by Mahatma Gandhi as a part of independence movement. Okay. encouraged people to wear clothes made up of homespun yarn termed as khadi. Khadi or सूती कपड़ा. And shun imported cloth made in the mills of Britain. Okay, they told everyone कि उन्होंने क्या बताया कि हमें जो है खुद घर पे यान बनाने हैं, ठीक है, हम इसको खादी नेम करेंगे क्योंकि वो कपड़ा वैसे का होगा, ठीक है, और जो ब्रिटेन से मतलब चीज़ें आ रही हैं, ठीक है, इम्पोर्ट हो रही हैं. एंड शन इम्पोर्टेड क्लोथ मेड इन द मिल्स ऑफ ब्रिटेन. We have to stop taking that clothes that are imported, okay, that are imported in the mills of Britain. To popularize and promote khadi, the government of India constituted a body called Khadi and Village Industries Commission in 1956. Okay, you can underline it. Now, spinning of a yarn on a large scale is done with the help of spinning machines. Okay, now we have come to the spinning machines. After spinning, yarns are used for making fabrics. ओके, जब भी हमारे पास कोई छोटी चीज़ होती है, छोटी से हम धीरे धीरे बड़ी चीज़ पे आते हैं ना. जैसे छोटी छोटी चीज़ है तो धीरे 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 क्या, जैसे ये हमारे पास फाइबर सपोज, ओके, दीज आर द बॉल्स, बट यू कैन सपोज दैट दीज आर द फाइबर्स, देन मोर, देन yarns, then cloth, fabric. Okay. 3.5 yarn to fabric. There are many ways, okay, by which fabrics are made from yarns. The two main processes are weaving and knitting. Okay. Now we'll see what's the difference between weaving and knitting. In activity 2, you might have noticed that a fabric is made up of two sets yarns arranged together. Yes, like here we have a fabric. So we have the so we have two yarns here. Now you can more get into detail. The process of arranging two sets of yarns together to make a fabric is called weaving. Okay, the process of arranging two sets of yarns together to make a fabric is called weaving. Okay, let us try to weave some paper strips. This activity you might have done in your previous classes also. Activity 5, take two sheets of paper of different colors. If you take different colors now, it will be easy for you to take. Okay. Cut square pieces of length and width equal to 30 cm from each sheet. Now fold both the sheets into half. On one sheet, draw lines as shown in the figure 3.12. So here you can see how they are making, and on the other as shown in figure 3.1. Cut both the sheets along the dotted lines and then unfold. Weave the strips one by one through the cuts in the sheet of paper as shown in figure 3.1. But part C. In part C we have to see, here we have to see part A, then B. Now you have to see part D. Then it's finally woven. So shows the pattern after weaving all the strips. In similar manner, two sets of yarns are woven to make a fabric. Okay. So, similar manner, two sets of yarn are woven to make a fabric. The yarns are much thinner than our paper strips. Yes, of course, weaving of fabric is done on looms. The looms are either hand operated or power operated. Okay, we have hand looms or machine looms. Okay, so you can see how they are hand loomed. Okay, we have weaved, and after that they are saying in a similar manner, two sets of yarns are woven to make a fabric. The yarns are much thinner than the paper strips. Weaving of fabric is done by looms. Okay, with hand it will take, I think, a more time, but the looms are either a hand operated. We use the hands in looms, but the looms are simple kind of machines, you can say. And power operated means which are used by using the energies. Okay, like electricity. Knitting. What is knitting? Have you noticed how sweaters are knitted? Yes, you might. Yes, we might. If anyone didn't, you can ask your grandmother. In knitting, a single yarn, okay, a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. Now a single yarn, okay, so this is a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. Have you pulled the yarn from a torn pair of socks? Okay, so they are asking, have you ever pulled the yarn from a torn pair of socks? What happens? A single yarn gets pulled out continuously as the fabrics get unraveled. It means that one end is attached to other. Means only one fabric is going and going. Socks and many other clothing items are made up of knitting fabrics. Knitting is done by hand and also on machines. Okay. Paheli wants to know if you have seen any fabrics that are made of the fibers on the outer covering of coconut. What are these fibers normally used for? Okay, she is asking. So you have to find this answer in the comment box and you have to send this answer in the comment box. Weaving and knitting are used for making different kinds of fabric. These fabrics are used for variety of clothing items. They are saying weaving and knitting are used for making different kinds of fabric. These fabrics are used for a variety of clothing items. Now we will see the difference between knitting and weaving. Weaving means we are taking the two yarns together, but in knitting, okay, we take one yarn. Like we are knitting with one wool. Okay, we take here too, but have you ever noticed that it is in continuous way, no? But here two yarns are attached in weaving. Okay, they are little bit. You can see the same thing also, but weaving and knitting is the means. Knitting means like we can do the knitting easily. Okay, weaving also the same thing, but weaving is the different because we are putting the thing down. But knitting we are doing with the hand or the operating system. Here same thing with weaving. Weaving also we are doing with that thing, but it's different. Okay. So today we have learned many things and you can go through it. So I am slowly scrolling the things and you can check it out. Okay. So we learned fibers, synthetic fibers, domain, okay, cotton balls, jute, yarns, how the yarns are converted, spinning cotton yarn, yarn to fabric, weaving, okay, about charkha, spindle, kakli, weaving and knitting, and we learned weaving and knitting are used for different kinds of fabric. These fabrics are used for variety of clothing items. Okay students, so we will meet in the next session. Good luck for now and do read this chapter properly till we have done. Okay, only one or two pages are left and we will complete it by next session. Take care, bye bye.